Hello, I'm Jody Wolf, and you're watching Expoz, December 31, 2017, 11:41 p.m. Birmingham. Drawing to a close, guys. Today, I did my study based on 7.3 billion people here on Earth, assuming the tribulation began tonight. The first 3.5 years, a third of the population of the 7.3 billion would die. That'd be 431 million people would die. That's a third of that. Now, there's going to be 4.8 billion left at 3.5 year mark, and then a quarter of those will die. That'll be 1.2 billion will die for the last 3.5 years of the second 3.5 years of the tribulation. So you have 3.6 billion people will be left at the end of that 7 years. Also 3.6 billion people died. Now, studies show that there are actually 7.6 billion people on Earth today, but let's assume 7.3. And I'm going here for a reason. Now, monthly, we're talking about 42 million people. Weekly, 10 million. And 200,000. Daily, 1.4 million. And that's for 7 years, for an entire 84 months. So more people die in the first 3.5 years, which is a third, and then in the second 3.5 years, which is a quarter, will die at that time. The end result is a half of the population dies. Now, the first 3.5 years, the death will come from a multitude of things. The rapture itself, that will take out a number of people, but these won't be considered among the dead. Now, when the rapture occurs, there'll be mass casualties in the hour following, in the day following, in the weeks following. Millions and perhaps tens of millions will die. That's after the rapture now. Count the number of airplanes that are in the sky at any given day. And unless every plane like American Airlines used to do, I don't know if they do anymore, they made sure that they had at least an atheist flying that plane, a Christian. If one was Christian, the other had to be an atheist. And this is a fact. They knew that if the rapture comes, they didn't want that plane to drop out of the sky. So somebody had to be there to fly it. And back in my flight school, that was taught. They talked about it openly as United and American. And but the first 3.5 years will be the seal judgments. It'll start out with the seals, and let me get right to the verse. In 1 Corinthians 15:51, first, behold, I show you mystery, and we shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. In verse 52, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised first, and we that remain shall be raised with them, and together caught up with them to meet the Lord in the clouds. Then the marriage will occur in heaven. Let me ask you a question. Will we get our butts beat up? Really beat up? Will we get whipped? A lot of us get killed? And then Christ call us up while you're pouring blood or while you're beating up, you're nasty, and then tell you, clean up, we got to get married? I don't think so. But if you look at the Islamic, Muslim, their values, that's about right. That's on par with them. But we're not Muslim, guys. We're the church. And I'm going to talk more about that in a few minutes. But also, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 6 through 7, the restrainer is taken out of the way. The church is removed to all the Antichrist to be revealed. The church has to be removed in order for the Antichrist to be revealed. And he cannot be made known. His name can't be known to us. He and the Holy Spirit cannot inhabit the same space and in power. Keep in mind, the Holy Spirit is in power, believe it or not. But in order for the Antichrist to come to power, the Holy Spirit will take his people out. That's the church. That's us. That's you and I. And I've got some more to say about who we are, who the Jews are, why things are like this and why they're not, and why things are going to change quickly. And as far as how soon, I don't know. No one knows that. But I just want to give you an idea of the people who will go through a living hell here on earth. And I will mention that about who causes the judgments in the first half of the tribulation and who causes the judgments in the second half of tribulation. And why are they in that order? And why are they less in the second half than in the first, when in fact the judgments are much more worse or much more horrifying than they were in the first part? It's strange. I'll tell you all about it. Jody Wolf Expoz.